In this video essay, I argue that one-to-one performances are inherently intimate but not necessarily cathartic. However, I suggest those performances which are most resonant and meaningful often generate catharsis precisely through their intimacy. This argument is developed through critical reflection on the one-to-one workshop session and through the proposal of a practice-based performance idea. A one-to-one performance consists of one performer and one spectator participant. Rachel Zerihan considers the first one-to-one performance to be Chris Burton's 5-day locker piece in 1971. A more recent performance artist is Adrian Howells, who specialised in one-to-one performances that are usually confessional. An example of this is Salon Adrienne, 2007, where he uses a hair salon as a place of one-to-one performance. In a drag persona, he washes a spectator participant's hair and guides a conversation with them about their self-image. In an increasingly unreligious society, his performances are a way for people to unload their shame and guilt, which he calls
a collective catharsis.
According to the Cambridge Online Dictionary, catharsis is
the process of releasing strong emotions through a particular activity or experience in a way that helps you to understand those emotions.
In Salon Adrienne, spectator participants articulate self-hatred and anxieties within a context associated with care, transformation, and concealment. While the salon traditionally functions to mask or manage insecurity, the act of verbalising these feelings within the performance can start to unravel their power. The performance concludes with an Indian head massage, extending this process of care into the body and enforcing catharsis as both emotional and physical. Finally, Howells calls the hair salon a
domestic setting,
which implies it is private and intimate. This intimacy is due to anxieties over how, in a world of interracial and inter-ethnic conflict and global inequalities and injustices, we might live together better. The drag persona in a salon environment allows for individuals who might not otherwise interact to do so, framing intimacy as both personal and political. But do one-to-one performances need to be intimate and collectively cathartic? On one side of the cue card I wrote, "What is the silliest thing you've done?" On the other side I wrote, "This side up." The aim was for the spectator participant to confess, but for me not to see or hear their confession. Can it still be cathartic if the performer does not know the spectator participant's confession? I wanted to start back to back sitting on the floor, and then when they had written the answer, we would turn back and stare at the cue card. I wanted not to talk as well, to see if it could still be intimate. Conversely, in the session, I needed to explain to spectator participant 1 what to do. With this, when it came to staring at the cue card, they verbalised their thoughts.
Richard, what are we doing? Are we just looking at the cards? Hello? Richard? What is this? What are we doing? Should I turn it over? Should I tell you? What's happening?
Their constant talking showed they were uncomfortable with the sudden silence and that they were overthinking. Expressing their discomfort implies they are vulnerable. Being vulnerable reminds me of the sort of intimacy that one has in their home, where they are watching television in their pyjamas. With spectator participant 1, the performance is cathartic in a different way than I intended. When we change partners, we change locations and positions too. With spectator participant 2, we were facing each other while sat at a table. We were also tasked with limiting our speech to one word. Spectator participant 2 could not read my handwriting, so I read it to them. As this was more than one word, I resumed silence for the rest of the piece. With the tutor's task of less speaking being told to the whole class, spectator participant 2 did not verbalise their thoughts. With a quieter room and spectator participant, I was feeling less nervous. I wondered what could be written on the other side of the card. I resisted the urge to speak and turn over the card. This was less intimate because I could not hear spectator participant 2's thoughts. I could not see their discomfort as explicit as I could with spectator participant 1. Being relaxed allowed me to reflect, which is a way to understand emotions. While putting the cue cards in my bag at the end of the session, I accidentally saw spectator participant 2's confession. I learned something about their identity they had not told the class, so this could have been cathartic. If so, we were both experiencing catharsis but for different reasons, meaning it was not a collective catharsis. Per contra, hiding a part of their identity would be the same as usual, so it may have been problematically not cathartic. If taking this forward, I would need to take greater care around confidentiality. Introducing a shredder could provide a clearer and more ethically considered ending to the performance than simply saying thank you. In the third variation of the performance, we were told to make a persona. I already had a persona, so I went in the opposite direction. I became weird and energetic by moving a lot while looking at the cue card. This time there were no words, just sounds. To communicate what they had to do, I slammed the card down and tapped on it a lot. During the discussion, I was told that was aggressive. This may have negatively impacted the intimacy, for aggression can lead to distancing. Similarly, during the performance, I noticed that spectator-participant 3 would look away, suggesting they were bored. To get their attention back, I would move some more. Putting on a character and attempting to maintain attention removed the intimacy. I was not in the room, the character was. I was in my head, reflecting not on my emotions, but my actions. This was not cathartic to me, and the potential alienation of the spectator-participant implies it was not for them too. To summarise this section, one-to-one performances are structurally intimate because two people are alone together, but not necessarily collectively cathartic. In addition, intimacy can come from many sources and take on different forms. I propose a one-to-one performance that uses intimacy to generate catharsis. I invite the spectator-participant into my room and say, "Shh, we need to be quiet or my mum will shout at us." We play Truth or Dare, which starts silly and then gets deep, eventually asking for stories of queer joy. We gradually get louder and louder, and my mum does not turn us off. Truth or Dare ends after shouting stories of queer joy while jumping on the bed. The performance ends with me going to brush my teeth. My bedroom is an instantly intimate space, especially with another person in it. Playing Truth or Dare usually leads to knowing someone's secrets, which creates an intimate bond with them. I will suggest the game, they will ask, and I'll pick truth. I will be the first one to reveal a secret. This will open the spectator-participant up to share things about themselves. The reason for queer joy is queer life is painful. Per contra, behind closed doors, it is beautiful. A lot of queer performances explore this pain we experience. For example, Derek Jarman's Blue is a soundscape exploring his experience with HIV/AIDS with a blue screen as the only visual. But there is so much joy we experience too. A personal example is British Youth Music Theatre's Musical Theatre Summer Camp, where we made a musical about pirates and partygoers in 6 days. Everyone was gay and or camp, and importantly, themselves. On the last day, I was called out by the director for the most change in confidence. This is because everyone was so lovely and accepting. The idea of pain also comes out in Howells' confessional one-to-one performances too, with the aforementioned expression of self-hatred in Salon Adrienne. My performance proposal offers a different approach to catharsis. Strong emotions are usually tied to negative emotions as a survival response, but love and happiness are strong emotions too. In a world that pushes us down, we need a place to express positive emotions. My bedroom can be that place. I'm going to empower us to take it out of the bedroom into the real world. Society's oppression is symbolised by the potential turning off from mum. Gradually testing and breaking the boundary leads to less fear. Shouting stories of queer joy is to be less fearful being queer. It is unreasonable to dismiss queer pain. But this performance suggests that we can transform a big part of the queer experience by highlighting the good bits, which is cathartic. This essay has argued that, framed through a nature versus nurture lens, one-to-one performances are nature-ally intimate, but nurture-ally cathartic. This has been explored through the experiment I conducted in class. With speaking, one-to-one performances are intimate and collectively cathartic. Without talking, they are less intimate, but still intimate for it is two people together. They are also not collectively cathartic, because we are feeling catharsis for different reasons. With an opposite persona and just sounds, one-to-one performances are even less intimate and not at all cathartic. Moreover, a performance idea has offered a different approach to catharsis, arguing that intimacy leads to catharsis. This video essay has raised ethical questions within participatory arts. while not its primary focus, these are being acknowledged when they intersect with the practice. Hey! I'm a local theatre kid, and this was a very different video. I have an idea of turning my dissertation into a video essay. This was your taster. How do you find it? An academic style essay as a YouTube video. Let me know in the comments. Please like, share and subscribe, notifications turned on, and I shall see you soon.